blood and tissue, warped, flattened bodies, crushed bone, mostly stuck to the walls. Pieces of humans littered the control panels. Reagle fought hard not to go inside, but his range of choice was limited. He needed to access the communication network. When he opened the door, the air disturbance sent a quiver among the shredded pieces of flesh and ruined uniforms. He stepped inside and thought about dimming the bright lights. He located the comms and punched in the channel code.
Carl Reagle to Ixion. Do you copy? Over.
We copy, Commander. Any luck with the crew?
Reagle struggled to find the words.
Negative. The situation is not good. There's been some kind of accident.
Radio silence followed. No one wanted this type of outcome. They expected it, but optimism felt like the right attitude to have.
I repeat, the situation is not good at all. We have multiple fatalities.
Reagle looked at the mangled mess. He knew he had to be clinical about it. He counted the separate bloodied masses, trying to distinguish the different uniforms. He saw body parts, fingers, ears, shredded skin, but he chose to sort out scalps instead, differentiating between hair types. Between the uniforms and scalps, he counted half a dozen individuals.
There were 6 crew members on the manifest.
Reagle counted again to be sure.
I have 6. That's all of them. Are we certain this is how many got on this rig?
When the mission launched, 6 human beings entered the Lapith 7 outpost. We've sent no other manned missions to this comet ever since. This outpost would have been constructed by Robotree before the crew got there. When this 80-kilometer-wide comet began its propulsion sequence, the chances that another third party interfered with the mission are as remote as the space this chunk of ice is hurtling through.
That's all I needed to know.
The implication that this had been a tragic accident weighed heavily on his mind. With not much time to establish the cause, he needed to move fast.
Telemetry update has just come in. Looks like Lapith 7 is off course. Instead of hitting Venus orbit, this ice mountain's going to end up closer to Earth's backyard. Our options have narrowed down.
Reagle paused to let this sink in.
Just come in? My ass. You knew about this before you enlisted my help.
We didn't enlist your help, Commander Reagle. We bought your service from the Ceres Port Authority.
You also knew I would not be leaving here without an answer to what happened. Guy Corp launches 10 of these monsters every year. The terraformation business is in full swing. We can't have accidents like this without knowing the cause. I have 8 hours of life support at least. You have months to sort out this trajectory.
What part of this don't you understand? This is a 20,000-ton meteor aimed at Earth. In a month, this thing will be close enough to heat up. The coma storm will make this cube a difficult, unstable intercept. We are here. We are doing this now.
What? Correcting trajectory?
No.
He knew what she meant. He suddenly had little time. Destroying this comet would require him to mobilize and activate all the nuke pumps.
Have you uploaded the data synchrode from this place?
I'm looking at it now. All audiovisual content went blank at the time of radio silence. You want me to go through 10 months of recorded media?
No, can we track oxygen levels?
Reagle avoided looking at the bloody entrails and focused.
There was a sharp load drop-off at the time of radio silence.
How sharp?
Within the space of an hour, 30%, then to 100%.
Reagle considered the ramifications.
That means all of Lapith's crew exited the compound. How long?
No atmospheric activity till your arrival.
The incident must have happened someplace outside. How the hell did they end up in here? When did the EAI lose visual input?
According to the logs, 2 hours before the first event, server went into failsafe mode.
Did somebody do this?
The logs indicate an abrupt shutdown. Without accessing the server, we can't know for sure.
Reagle looked at the terminal. The server ran all the domestic sensory inputs for the crew and Hesper.
I've got to talk to this AI.
Using his sideral tool, he opened the panel. He unpatched the mini power core, force-booting the terminal, and waited for the sequence to commence.
Jesus, this piece of shit won't boot up.
He wanted to talk to this machine brain. Reagle found a comm portal and began typing awkwardly with fat-gloved fingers. Hesper, he typed. Why did you not activate the emergency beacon at the first sign of trouble? The AI wrote back. There is no emergency. Have you not noticed climate parameters indicating that you have had no inhabitants for 2 months? Hesper replied, climate systems are normal. Reagle typed, are you not responsible for the well-being of the habitat? The word yes appeared on the screen. Then why are the crew splattered on the wall in here? Reagle asked. Reagle waited for the epic seconds for an answer. There is a slight increase in humidity, replied Hesper. 3% above normal. Sanitary system is normal. Thermal system is normal. Reagle typed, you haven't noticed anything out of order. No, responded Hesper. There is nothing out of order. Reagle wondered how Hesper would react if it could see the carnage.
Hey Lambright, any clue as to when this comet's trajectory got altered?
Not yet.
Any chance this EAI could have gone bomb 20 on us and did something fucked up?
Can it hear you?
AV server is dead. This thing can't see or hear anything.
Answer to your question is no. Environmental AIs are physically disconnected from the nav systems, heavy mechanoids, and this comlink. Even if they were somehow connected, the languages are incompatible. Hesper uses a vastly different programming language than automatons do. Even if they learn the language, there is no interface to bridge them together and allow them to accomplish something like this. The course correction was man-made. A nuke pump rig would have to be maneuvered into position and ignited. As for the deaths, I have no theories. How did they die?
Terribly. They were crushed, almost shredded.
A thought entered Reagle's mind. He unsealed his helmet and removed it, expecting that horrid stench. Instead, it smelt like a slaughterhouse.
These bodies are fresh. This happened recently.